Hey, Katie Girls, it's Sunday, March 29th, 2026, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time, episode number 7, where we are discussing season 18's numbers 12 and 13, aka known as the Ride 'em Ups and the Don't Give a Fucks. Sorry, the actual titles of the episodes are Mama, Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Drag Queens, the longest running title episode of any American season, I believe. And RuPaul's shitting on people. I mean, Karen's Gone Wild. So, yeah, there's that. Yep. It's going to be one of those things. For those of you that don't know, my name is Gary, and with me is my ever fabulous co-host.
Hi, I'm Damon, and I can I can control my emotions during the show. Maybe not before or after, but you have to be a patron to see that.
Yeah.
I'm lying though.
Uh-huh.
And don't fuck it up.
Oh, yeah?
Fuck you, and fuck you.
So there. I'm going to press every goddamn sound effect button this episode, I think. Anyways, shall we dive into our first
Let's do this.
part? All right.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
Unless I decide to be a bitch. So, put the pedal to the metal. These are our thoughts on these most recent 2 episodes, known as Serves, Swerves, and Nerves. David, you're going to give yourself a paper cut if you just keep grabbing
I know,
chance all
right?
episode.
I was sitting here like I don't know which one to grab.
All right, so the serves are the positive things, the nerves are the negative things, and swerves are negative things. I'm so much tied up in my feelings. This is going to be a fucked up show. And then nerves could be really good or really bad, depending on the circumstance. So let's start off with the positives. Damon, what are you giving serves for?
Okay, so I'm going to give some serves to I put Mikey's Thorny Horny Runway. I mean, it's actually this one in particular, but also I kind of was a big fan of this category. So the runway category was from wholesome to fulsome, and what it looked like the prompt was you had a wholesome, family friendly, like cutesy, whatever, like outfit, and then you tore it away to reveal a more Folsom friendly, so meaning Folsom Street Fair. If you don't know, you know. Um, if you know, you know, I should say. Um, kind of look. And Mikey's in particular, I was such a fan of because it kind of worked for the idea, but also was a little draggy and costumey, which I really kind of love. So she did this rose petal hair, which I thought was really cool, like rose sculpted rose hair, and she had this like red drapey kind of outfit, like Philly little outfit on, which obviously was just like a cover up. I doubt this look was built specifically for the prompt, but it worked for the prompt. Because then she revealed all of the rose part and had this corseted um like garter, and it had like the thorny rose, like the thorns on it, and she had this um petal whip is what I'm going to call it, but I know it was like a thing of roses that turned into a bouquet of roses that turned into a whip. I just thought it was really cute. I really loved it. I really, really, really loved it. And again, I don't know if it was built specifically for this specific prompt because rose and thorn just sort of ties together really well. So it could have been built for another thing, but this really worked. But I liked hers. I actually kind of really liked Mikey's, not Nike's, Nini's. Um, and who else did I mark? Do do do. Hello. I actually also like Juicy's, although uh, the cat thing was a little. It didn't quite land. I think I would have liked it if it had been purple-ish, had some kind of smile somewhere to give the whole
Right.
Cheshire kind of thing.
Correct. If it actually gave Cheshire Cat
Yeah.
specifically, it would have stayed on theme.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it was good.
I don't disagree. I think it was a good presentation that Mikey put out there.
Yeah. Gary.
So I said sissies in the workroom, and this goes back to the cowboy makeover episode number 12.
Mhm.
Um and you and I kind of talked about this like last week a little bit. I feel like of all the makeovers, they kind of got it right. And by that I
Mhm.
mean who they picked to do the makeovers. Like we've had family, we've had complete strangers, we've had veterans infamously, like we've had like really butch dudes, like, and so this time they like poured it all in a blender and outpoured gay rodeo cowboys.
Right.
So there were some really strong storylines about like masculinity versus femininity, like repression, all sorts of stuff. But they're FAGs, you know, like they can turn the flame on, and we're kind of shown to be cattier and like sassier than the queens are, which I found
Mhm.
very interesting. Like that was sort of a little edit or storyline that they were putting in there, is that these cowboys were actually more vicious than the
Mhm.
drag queens were. Um, and notably, Chris, aka Hormona Lisa's long lost like sister, was like one of the biggest instigators I felt in the workroom.
Yes.
Once she got all done up, I was like, oh no, like we've created that. She represented like the sissiness of like leaning
Mm.
into like lisping and being silly and kind of flamey and all that kind of stuff. So I just appreciated that was an element that was in the workroom, because I think the contestants don't necessarily show that very much. They're so understandably in the game
Mhm.
that they can't like step outside of themselves a whole lot and just be goofballs, or like not be thinking about how their behavior affects their place in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's fair.
So yeah, I very much appreciated
Yeah.
that aspect of it. So I was like, yay, because it's been quite a while since I think we've seen that in the
Yeah.
workroom.
It's
And it
funny.
makes
I'm
you
going to actually talk about this a little later, so I won't say anything right now.
okay. So let's move on to our swerves, the negatives. Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot like recent, really, and I got onto the dock a little late, and I saw what Gary was saying. I was like, okay, I know what he's talking about. So so I'm just gonna point out a particular situation. So my swerve is for Discord and Harmony Adams. Why? Um, Not why. Okay, never mind. Let me rephrase. This is I keep bringing this up because it bothers the piss out of me. This
hmm
is season 18.
hmm
This is years and years of like familiar tropes that they RuPaul's Drag Race World of Wonder always does. And
hmm
this makeover challenge is one of them. And every year I feel like queens sometimes go, you know what? I'm going to be different. And I'm like, why? Why are you trying to be different? Like, I'm going to be blunt. There is nothing that you can do or think of that has not already been done and thought of. Just putting it out there. So your idea, Discord, while I kind of understand it at surface level, becomes moot if you don't put some way to make them cohesive. And I get that Michelle like similarities and blah 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 and all that stuff, and there's a whole other thing to that, but like something could have been done to bring these two looks closer together. And you had the choice on the person that you made over, and you have an opportunity to really make this work and do something really great and unique to give your vibe. I mean, I've been seeing videos online of you, and I've seen videos like of I think your partner, and I'm kind of like, there's a real aesthetic that could have worked really well for this specific challenge,
Hmm.
drag family resemblance, that I think you missed out on because you wanted to present this like disassociation of the two of you. Like you wanted to be the negative queen and her be the poppy bubbly queen, and both are you're both mean girls. Well, it's rare that mean girls are sisters unless they're twins. Like I'm going through like tropes of like movies and such, and
Hmm.
that's the thing that pops in my head more often. Yeah, I've seen like mean girls that are like siblings, and usually they are like twins. So I think you could have gone that route and done something really amazing, and going this other route, you ended up shooting yourself in the foot in a way. So,
Yeah, it's difficult, I think, in this competition to be true to yourself and yet
hmm
also like stay within the guidelines or don't say like fuck the rules or the guardrails or
hmm
whatever and like do
hmm
your own thing because half the time, well, not half the time. I don't know what the statistics are. Some of the time the judges reward you for it, and some of the times they don't.
right,
And this is one of those trope like episode competition topic things that you don't really know what the hell's going to happen. So you're probably better off going with tried and true literal mirror image mimicry just to be
hmm
safe.
yeah. Like I just want you to like think about the ones that were quote unquote in the top last week, and the ones that were quote unquote in the bottom, and you kind of go, oh, I see what happened here. So the ones that pretty much did like mirror mother daughters, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
were in the top. And the
Mm-hmm.
ones that kind of did, we're going to do something different and weird and kooky. And we're kind of like, kind of sort of sibling ish, kind of related, ended up in the bottom. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I wholly disagree that Jane was in the bottom three.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't, if you couldn't look at those two people and see mother daughter, you need to get your eyes checked. I said what I said.
Okay, that's fair.
But anywho, that's just me. Harry,
Um, I just said judging shenanigans.
fact.
Both episodes,
Uh-huh.
12 and 13.
Uh-huh.
Like last week, you and I kind of talked about it. We were like, what is this bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just, oh, okay. We're going to make up the rules however we feel like it's,
Mm-hmm.
supposed to work. I mean, if this had happened in All Stars, I would have expected.
Are you sure?
I would have expected somebody to talk back just like that, but it's not. It's the main regular season, so they haven't gotten that comfortable with that familiar yet, just to kind of put the grind in the gears. So yeah, I don't know. I
It
yeah.
it felt weird, the judging for these two episodes, because I genuinely was wondering, like, especially this last one, I'm wondering, are we on opposite, like, is this opposite day? Are we in a weird, like,
Mm.
did we see, did y'all see what I saw? Am I delusional? Did I miss something?
Well, remember there are hours upon hours, hundreds of hours of footage on the floor that does not
That's
make it.
fair,
So
fair,
there's
fair. So
more
yes,
than
there's
what we
definitely something I
know.
see. Whatever, girl. But
I mean, I mean,
but
was it? Did Bussy talk about it, or somebody else did about how Discord said that La Roche was just like an absolute bitch, like
yeah,
as a judge, and
it
was
was
like.
Bussy.
But I thought it was interesting because I think Discord's perspective that was being voiced on social media was like, Law's going to do what Law's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Law's playing the game. Law's there to like say outrageous shit and do things like to get attention. That's their role.
Right.
And these aren't the words that they said, but I got the attitude of I ain't mad about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not happy that I was like in the crosshairs, but on the flip side of it, it was also like I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So I was like, okay,
Yeah. I don't.
interesting.
I think the main often what happens is, and I saw the like videos and I remember that conversation, and I think Law isn't constructive. He is not a constructive like criticism judge. He is a judge that
Yeah.
like, and while like sometimes I like the frankness, I often feel like you're not really gonna help a queen if you pretty much say, which is something he said, um, your outfit is terrible, I hate you. Like it's kind of, he didn't say it like that verbatim, but that's kind of what he said. And
Right.
I was like,
Yeah, it's interesting because if you consider his seat where he's at, a lot of the other judges will give the contestant advice on
mm-hmm,
the way this should have been executed better and or different. So like
mm-hmm,
Carson will definitively say, I like this and this. I really wish you had done this or considered doing XYZ or this is what's missing or that this is why this doesn't work.
mm-hmm,
Ross kind of does it. TS definitely does it.
mm-hmm,
Um Law, I agree, is really like very rarely constructive and says this, this, and this. It's more like put down, insult, whatever, or
mm-hmm,
praise.
mm-hmm.
Like it's very black and white, very, polar opposite, like kind of commentary, one direction or
Yeah,
another. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
but I
know.
just I
But
just
again,
feel like there was a bunch of
there was
shenanigans going on.
there was something, and again, like this episode in particular, I feel like I was saying, I don't get it. I don't see
Hmm.
how what happened ended up happening because I don't. Leslie put it like broke it down really, really well, and I kind of was like, yeah. But again, I mean, I was thinking the other day, actually not the other day, I was listening to a couple of other people talking about judging in like contests and leather events and such like that. And one of the things I remember is the thing that happens is like it could be the judge that day. It could be their mood. It could be um um like in all honesty, it could be anything that can potentially have happened that can potentially affect their sway one way or another. And I know that's not fair, but we're also all human. And that was kind of the bigger point of it all was that
Right.
there's no like, you know, mechanical dead inside kind of thing that would make like judging equal playing kind of thing field. So you kind of get what you get sometimes, and that can be good and bad.
I mean, I hear all of that. There is a hope though that you would be enough self-aware that you would recognize that you're having a shitty day and work
Hmm.
at not having that come across.
Right. One would hope.
That it would not
No,
influence you in a way to, affect what it is that your task is.
yeah, and I'm not saying that was what happened here. I'm just saying
Right.
like this felt a little weird,
Hmm. No,
almost like hmm.
yeah, I don't disagree. All right, let's move on to nerve. Remember, this could be good stuff or not good stuff, just kind of depending on the situation. So, Damon, why don't you go first? What are you
Oh,
giving
sure.
nerve to?
I'm gonna give nerve to Miss um Bonnie Mitchell, which was Chris. Like you're a little gay, the gayest fucking boy. Like I when they came out, like all of them came out, and I was like, oh, they're cowboy. Oh, okay, nice. And then he started talking. I was like, oh, you gay, you gay. And it was, and I know it's not fun, and I'm not making fun of him, but it was just like, oh, you're just like, okay, very just out there, and I kind of was loving it, because it broke. the mold of what I thought they would be.
Mm.
And I'm glad that it happened. And going from there, like again, I'm putting this in Nerve because of this very reason. Bonnie was on. Like the minute like the heels came on or something like something, and I was like, oh, you're here to have fun and you are in
Well,
this. And
if I remember correctly, that contestant confided or said that they do their household chores in heels.
oh, I didn't see that. Or maybe I missed it.
Yeah. So
But they like
I was like, okay, girl. Like,
yeah. He
for all intents and purposes, that's a crossy. Like that's what that is that we just saw on national television or international television. I was like,
oh,
okay. I
he
mean,
was
I have to admit, when they started talking, it was like Bob the Drag Queen. It was very purse first. Like it just
uh-huh.
fell out. And I was like, oh, okay. Like there's,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, I found it interesting because I thought, yeah, like if you have a career that's, masculine based or like a
Hmm.
population that's very masculine, that could pose to be quite a challenge,
Yeah.
to be in that environment.
It
And I didn't get the impression that they code switch a whole lot or change their voice, like deepen their
right,
voice in
right,
certain
right.
environments. Like that didn't kind of come across. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you go through like when they were introducing themselves was kind of like where my brain kind of like I'm listening to them come across and I was like, okay. And like obviously, yes, they're gay rodeo. Yes, it's gay, like it's
Hmm.
LGBT and what have you. But like there was a certain, again, maybe a misconstruction, an air of masculinity about each person.
Hmm.
And then Chris started talking and even put in that um like wink wink nudge nudge joke about he'd write anything with hair. And I was like, okay, okay, Bear. Uh, and it it was fun and like why like reason why I wanted to put this in Nerve because like I feel like there's something very wonderful and confident about being that open and expressive and
Hmm.
being very just like down for all of this. And because we've seen, and I mean some of the even the guys on the show, the rodeo people were very much like trying to find this balance or looking to express their femininity when they've often been told that they shouldn't or
Right.
have it in their head that they can't. And it just was very wonderful where you go when you talk about all those things and you have Chris here who is basically just like, yeah, I'm gay and I know it, and I know I have a list and you can hear it in my voice, and I don't care. So fuck all this, and I'm gonna have the time of my life. And he did. I wish he had gotten a better look, but that's neither here nor there. He was paired with Darlene. Um, uh, so yeah, yeah. Congrats. Thank you, Chris slash Bonnie Mitchell, which sounds like a 70s, 80s like
Country star.
country star.
Does. Totally does.
Welcome to
R-
stage, Miss
Right,
Bonnie
right,
Mitchell.
right out of that, like Bonnie Raitt, Reba McEntire, Lori
Yeah.
Morgan. Like, there's just right out of that era, you know exactly who she is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Go ahead.
Girl, I don't remember the last time that I saw Crash and Burn, and I was like, okay, this is where we describe like you can't not look at the accident as it's happening. Like you realize it's happening and
Mm-hmm.
you probably shouldn't be watching it because it makes you uncomfortable and it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring back the puppets and it goes horribly. So much so that RuPaul on the fly changes things and says, none of y'all win. And I'm going to give the $2,500 cash prize to split amongst 9 or 10 crew members who had to be tortured by watching and listening to what just happened. I mean, this ranks right up there with like, what is it, 6 or 7 queens lip syncing side by side together.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh no, oh
The the
okay,
the 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 what snatch game like shenanigans. Like it was just and the worst part is we know like thanks Darlene, like they're supposed to do that for 2 minutes. I know we
right.
didn't get 2 minutes of each queen. I know for a fact we didn't get 2 minutes of
Well,
each
because
queen.
none of them had 2 minutes of material.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
But
I was just like, wow,
I
wow.
will say this: I have a theory about this last episode and especially this episode.
Mm,
I wonder if production was pushing things
mm,
because remember, like they get so much time. So each episode is recorded over 2 or 3 days. It's
right.
usually they do it and they don't run 7 days a week. Like because there's a union, I think they can only run 5 or 6 days straight, and they have to have at least one full day off. Um, so I wonder though if like they got behind schedule or something was happening that they like pushed them harder because it really felt like they were not prepared for this last episode
Mm,
and were not given to be prepared. Like usually for like the reading challenge, we find out that they get time to sit with notebooks and write the jokes and like come up with the stuff, and then they go stand back in line and then they do the reads.
right, right.
And the same thing kind of with the mini challenge. I would imagine in this case with the puppet, like not only do you have to do the puppet over in quick drag, but then you also have to like come up with jokes, about specific yada yada yada. Only I don't know if that last part really happened. It felt so
Mm,
off the cuff and like they all just
bombed
yes.
so bad. It felt so like again, I don't know if this was the narrative they were pulling, which is also possible. There may have been like a joke or two that was actually funny, but they chose not to put it in there
Mm.
to sort of make this whole like narrative of like this is garbage. But man, if what we saw was what was actually going on, it was rough.
Yeah.
And is it bad because we're all so like close knit? I don't know. I don't think so because we know that the queens are capable of cutting shit up, like cutting up. They have stuff all the time. So like I don't know.
I'm really thinking that exhaustion was a key element
Mm,
this last episode. I'm feeling like they're getting pushed.
mm,
Like we're this far in and it's affecting them like with energy, with sleep, with like the ability to pull the stuff together. And one could argue that this is when the show makes or breaks the contestants, like that
mm.
they can either cut it or not. I think Bussy made a comment about like spot number 5 infamously is always a shakeup, like elimination, um,
Fair.
or has been the majority of the time. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. So I'm just trying to think about it, and I'm like, yeah, if they're like pushing them, and like let's say the makeover challenge took 3 days, and then this challenge was 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot. Like if they started it early in the morning and they did the mini challenge and the puppet makeover and then immediately went into the bigger challenge and saved the runway for the whole second day,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't really have a whole lot of time to like game plan for the main challenge, and all that stuff. I don't know. Hard to say.
So I was trying to go quickly backwards and just check on like fifth place. So like season 16 was Morphine. Season um 15 was Lucy. So I'm about to season 14. Hello. Just to like get a general gist of like fifth places here. Oh, that was the season that they had 5 queens go into the top 5. But if you go with that, sorry, I'm just looking at season
Hmm.
14. you had the double elimination of Deja and Georges. So right before we got our like quote unquote top five.
Mm-hmm.
So just some thoughts, very interesting. A pattern.
Yeah, I thought
Or
that was I hadn't considered that at all, but when Bussy made the comment, I was like, oh, I was like, okay.
it's definitely feeling that way. Hello,
So
13.
yeah, I definitely feel like the beginning part of this episode was crash and burn, and then I feel like nobody recovered,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
very little in that case. So with that being said, shall we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, times for the snaps and the eye rolls, aka the highs and the lows, from these particular episodes that stood out for us. What are you giving snaps to, Damon? I'm looking at the document and I'm curious what you mean by this.
Yeah. So I put down Juicy fighting back. Um, and honestly, this is a last minute thought. So that's where it comes from. I am giving snaps to Juicy. Um, she is definitely trying.
Mm-hmm.
So she's had a lot of low in the season. And I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing the fighting to like stay and the fighting to be here. And apparently it's showing enough to the judges that she's getting like top placements all of a sudden, but that's neither here nor there. Um, um, but like these two episodes in particular, there was the makeover challenge where she, of course, had this outfit that she had specifically chosen, and what I like to call they called uh, Big Bird and Cookie Monster because yellow and blue. Um, but like obviously she wasn't expecting to have that tall, um, thick man um, as her you know makeup partner. So she had to improvise, and she did, and she was able to construct a while it was just basically a leotard, it was something, and we know she's not been the greatest at sewing. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, she's living up to the challenge. And in this one, um, she made choices, and she stuck by those choices, and they kind of worked. Emphasis on kind of worked. Um, and somehow um got a high placement for this episode. Huh. So congratulations, Juicy.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I will not have nice things to say. Not that they won't necessarily be deserving, but if she wins the whole thing, I feel that that's not good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be
Mm.
to be fair, I don't think anybody this season has gotten the infamous "you were born to do drag"
Correct.
out of Mother Root.
Correct.
So she's not a Georges who, Rue falls in love with and obviously, just wants to put on a pedestal. So we'll see where things go.
Right.
But she has done better, I think, than any of us were going to give her credit for once the family was gone.
Correct.
So I
Correct.
hear you on that. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary, how about you?
I said real leather. And here's the reason why. You and I have kind of talked about this several times over the seasons.
Mm.
Mikey Meeks runway, this last challenge where they went from wholesome to fulsome.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised to see that Mikey actually had real leather on. And if it's not
Ah,
real leather, it's very convincing
fair.
vegan like non-animal leather.
Right.
Because normally we get PVC like vinyl like just
Leather. Mm-hmm.
pleather crap. And a lot of times we critique the kink aspect of things that the queens really don't know what they're doing.
Right.
I will say that Mikey doesn't strike me as a person who's really into BDSM or involved in the scene, but I think she had enough guidance from people that look that she pulled off for the thorny part worked. I was pleasantly surprised by the bouquet whip thing. I thought that was a cool element. Now, if you see the outfit in Untucked backstage, you will learn that the leather is actually a really dark, like mossy, like olivey, like dark green. Like kind of like actual rose, like stock thorn green. It's very surprising. And it's actually a gorgeous color of leather. On stage, though, it doesn't read like that. It looked like something, and I couldn't put my finger on it because I'm like, that's not black. I don't know what it is, and it's because the colors wash it out. But when you actually see it under, I guess, regular lighting, I was pretty impressed. And I was like, either she borrowed that from somebody or she paid a pretty penny to have that whole thing made.
So, hold on. Let me close this out and get to the link. Because there's a Twitter with the pictures, which I'm sorry, looking really, really freaking amazing. Let me share it somewhere. Oh, here we go. I'll share it in our Drag Race post chat for now, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Because these are some really great pictures. Obviously, these are probably her own like picture choices, but yeah, it is really freaking amazing. And according to the Drag Crave, where this is coming from, they give who like made the outfit, who did the wig, and who did the whip. Yeah.
Yeah, because the shame was that the boots, the thigh high, like like heel cover piece, is metallic, and so it's super shiny. And on the lights on the stage, it doesn't look like it goes with the outfit. Like it's like green, and like the rest of it doesn't really seem to match to it, so it's a bit off. But then in these photos, of course, everything is much more composed in terms of like colors and stuff, and it looks better. But yeah.
I was finally looking, like trying to find a picture from the actual runway, and someone has it on dragalicious.com/ Brazil VR. Anyway, it's fine. But like looking at this picture, the boots are giving poison ivy, like, but the outfit is giving probably, like you said, very real. It looks very real. If again, like you said, if it's not real leather, it is a very close, like, well, high quality. I even want to say like similar copy, I should say. Yeah.
So I just wanted to give snaps to that like it's not often that a queen does leather on the runway and then gets it mostly right or looks real. Like so yeah.
So while I agree, I don't know if she's like actively in the community, but she may have actually like reached out to someone and like talked with them about it and like
Understood. All right. And we get to the eye rolls.
Ready? Or put down. This elimination?
I mean,
really?
There's several to pick from.
I've had it officially.
I
decline.
I thought you had the stuff to go all the way. Now, sashay away.
Woo.
I know you weren't expecting that one.
I wasn't.
You were probably thinking of this one.
Mama, this is garbage.
Well, yeah.
We all have choices. Some of us make the wrong one.
Thank you for putting in every sound clip you got.
Well, that's not all of them. I mean, there's more.
But like, so this controversial, yes. Like definitely making waves throughout the community. I was gooped, gagged, like shooketh, like all of the things when I was watching because I watched live. Oh, I wasn't watching live that one. Because we had anyway. I wasn't watching live. I was watching my DVR recording, but it was like off by maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's fine. Um, yeah. So somehow over the course of these two episodes, Jane went from destined to win the season to eliminated. And I don't understand. Let me rephrase. I kind of don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bussy said something earlier. I keep going back to Bussy, but it's very true. Like it's shock value. We're very shocked. Like obviously, this is TV. You know, this is going to be something that's going people are going to be shocked and surprised and all about and seeing. And um, I'm sure Jane was feeling it just as much, if not more so. I've seen a couple of videos online of her, like I don't know if it was live reacting, but she was talking to an audience at some place, and she definitely felt bad, but also was feeling like she, was losing her sisters and all of that stuff. She was very congenial in that way. But yeah, I'm in the ilk of this felt like garbage. But Bussy pointed out in her video this morning that um the queens themselves are sort of talking about it, and Candy Muse of all people says something to the effect of like it's Rue's show and she can do what she wants. And I kind of like you're kind of right. Like like at the end of the day, it could be this thing, and I don't like it, obviously. Um, but I was saying we've got this whole like arc of this queen who seemed very confident, but also very unconfident, and was putting a lot of pressure on herself, and was still doing well, and had like several wins already. But
Mm-hmm.
then she fell on the bottom last week for I think bad like improper reasons. I don't think her um um makeover was worthy of being even close to the bottom in comparison. But again, I'm not the only person. I'm not the person seeing everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
I got what she was putting down with regards to the looks. Um, Anywho, that being said, so she kind of went there, and then in this episode, which was like Karen's, and I was kind of like, she was the most quote unquote Karen among them. Like when you think about what a Karen quote unquote is, like you know, entitlement, um, talking back, like making accusations, trying to ask for a manager. I don't think that's what she said that, but like she was talking about the pilot, which I guess you could say it's manager. Anyway, just all of these certain things that kind of I've seen in videos. I've seen it, and it just felt weird that this was where we went. The only thing that was off or different about her Karen was like, oh, she wasn't blonde. But I'm like, that's not enough. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Gary.
I just said burning it to the ground. I wonder if World of Wonder knows going into this episode how divisive this outcome was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because they already knew, everybody knew what happened. So, like, the cast was there, the crew was there, the judges were there. Like, everybody was involved all the way through to certain
Mhm.
points. So, these final 5 contestants knew how things went.
Right.
So, I'm wondering, though, if they started figuring out as things were airing and they were paying attention to stuff that they might have a problem on their hands. That they did a thing that's going to kind of backfire on them because of a certain thing that they don't admit to and they never actually allow to be a quote unquote excuse. And by that I mean this.
Blame it on the edit. Blame it on the edit.
Mm-hmm.
I got us a new sound clip. And here's why. If they knew the entire season arc that Jane was leaving at this point, I find it very curious that they gave us the edit that allowed us as an audience to rally and be behind her and believe in her and want her to win. And it became, at least it seemed kind of obvious she was going to make the top and that it was going to come down to truly like skill in the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. And now I'm like, okay, so now we have 4 queens left. And this is kind of why I said you know, not a big shocker. In pre-show, I was like, I don't want to record today.
Woo.
I was so put out by this episode, and this is going to sound unpolite. It's going to sound mean, might even sound nasty. I don't know if I give a shit who wins. And that is not meant to discredit any of the 4 remaining contestants.
Right.
I will say this. I will be shocked if Nene wins. I will be surprised if Juicy wins. I think it is obvious now, but I can't fucking trust what I've seen, obviously.
Blame it on the edit. Blame it on the edit.
Because the edit says now it's Mikey's to lose.
Right.
So why do I want to invest any more in this season if you're going to pull this?
Yeah. I have nothing to counter anything that you have said.
I'm
genuinely
gonna own it. I'm a petty bitch.
Uh-huh.
I canceled my Disney Plus subscription because of the shit that they did to Jimmy Kimmel. Ooh. And I have not gone back, despite their like, hey, we've got some good deals and blah, 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 blah. I am missing, this is a total tangent, sorry everybody. I am missing Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, which looks really goddamn good, but I am not watching it. I am not giving them any more of my fucking money. Not for a while. I'm still bitter about it. So, yes, I am that petty. So I am irritated beyond belief at this point. I'm like, what is the point in watching the show if you're just going to like build up and then destroy things? Like, why? If you had started the arc 1 or 2 episodes earlier in the edit that Jane wasn't as strong or had faults or something, we might have seen this coming sooner or better, like understood it and had a softer landing. But the fact that it seems it comes out of nowhere in episode 12 with the cowboys, that she's like in her head and she's worried and she thinks she's not going to make it and blah, blah, blah. And then we get into this episode and like she's very mixed about the whole thing and she doesn't know if the runway is going to save her. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So now I look back and I'm like, oh, right. You showed us what you could show us, probably because there wasn't a lot to show.
Mm.
So,
Like I just
yeah.
like I'm looking at like they've talked about this, like Busty's talked about this, a lot of people have talked about this. Like best like season like run for 11 episodes.
Hmm.
She was high or she won. She was high or she won, or she wasn't in like because of the talent show, for example. Like she wasn't in
Hmm.
the episode. Um, top two, like high, 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 like high, win, high, high. Top two, high, high, win, win, high. Then low, then elimination. So it's kind of like this.
Right.
And
It's like she just got shoved off the edge of a cliff.
right. And
And
it
so if I wanted to be all conspiracy theory, I'd be like, oh, is it because we can't have another Northwest, like US region quirky queen win? Is it problematic that it started with Jinx and then now we've got like the Bosco, Irene, and Jane like family thing? Like is that a concern that you have? Like there's a part of me that's like, I will give all credit where credit is due.
mm-hmm,
So Carrie Colby, gorgeous. Sasha Colby, beautiful.
mm-hmm,
Like goddess. I mean, and Kylie Sonique Love. I mean, like they're a family. They're beautiful and talented.
mm-hmm.
They deserve to win. They deserve to win. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, what is this? I'm just
This feels this
befuddled.
feels very, how do I say this? This feels very, we edited too bad. We edited something and we made this choice and we gotta we had no way to really justify it. So we're just gonna like throw it out there and be like, whatever. Like here we go. Like
And I will say this. We get to the end of the lip sync.
mm-hmm,
I do have to say, in full recognition, the moment Nene Coco and Jane did like the what is it, tumble
somersault.
somersault,
Yeah.
and then Nene did a flip and landed,
Mm-hmm.
I literally out loud went, "Fuck." Because I know I don't expect that out of Jane. I just don't think that that's a thing that she
No.
does or that she has. And I was like, ooh, like that's shitty that like that got pulled out because it was stunty and it worked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she says that Nene, Shantae, you stay.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said earlier, like you're just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says to Jane, remember that you are always a star. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
And the winner is. We have a tie! Tie? Oh my God. What you mean tie?
Yeah.
the irony is in Untucked, this very fucking episode, they talked about
Uh-huh.
how there was no bullshit,
Uh-huh.
no chocolate bar, no dunk tank, no like scissors. Like there were like they intentionally call out, maybe that was production that made them talk about it. They intentionally called out that they didn't have the usual trope of some bullshit going on.
Right. They didn't have a shenanigan. They didn't have a like a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. They didn't have like a get out of drag jail free, kind of something. Like they didn't have,
Correct.
yeah.
And my question is, if that was in this season, would this have been the moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Or
Like
do you think they
100%.
wouldn't have? Would they have already used it before we got to the last five?
Possibly. Well, if it had been like I'll be blunt. If it had been like the chocolate bar thing,
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, like where it's chance and what have you, like,
Right.
yeah, like I could definitely have seen them like have this play out in this moment. We could have saved another queen earlier on, but them go out later on and then have another queen, like, or if they done like the whole production thing, that not so much. That was too much.
Right.
That was a little crazy. But like something along those lines where it's quote unquote up to chance, but it's really fucking up to chance. Like, let's be honest, y'all. Um, um, they could have done something like that, and I think it could have worked. But could they have done it? Yes. I was genuinely expecting a double save
Mm-hmm.
because there was no way that they were going to be like, oh, we're going to build all of this story with Jane. She ends up in the bottom, and we're just going to send her home. I was like, there's no way that that's going to be a thing. Like I was sitting watching on the couch. Like, I'm picturing it. Like I'm like, okay, we're going to get okay, so congratulations, Nina. Yay, you say cool. Next words out, RuPaul. Like,
Right. Right.
and Jane don't. Shantae, you stay too. Like I'm not done
Uh-huh.
with you. Or like this situation elimination, walking out the door, a la Candy Views in her season, and like I'm not done with you yet. Stop. Wait. No. Stop. I'm not done with you yet. Come back. I would have even liked that, but this,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it feel.
I honestly loved how Jane left the runway.
Yeah. The speechless.
Right, with an expression, not with a like tagline.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I think Bussy mentioned it in her video, how authentic Jane's exit interview piece was to camera,
Yeah.
where she was just like, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, she'd already picked her nails off. Like, I mean, like you could just tell
Yeah.
she was beside herself.
Yeah. It's
And
true.
and not in a delusional like, oh my god, I should absolutely be here. How dare you? Like, fuck all you in production or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like, it was none of that. It was actual stun.
Like, yes.
And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. Like it was so wild.
It was
And I
wild.
went, and as soon as the episode was done, I didn't even let the credits roll. I jumped straight into Untucked. I was like, because now I got to watch Untucked and see what the hell happened leading into this to see whether or not Jane really knew this was coming. And if she like felt defeated and gave in and just like didn't really give it or whatever, like, and that wasn't quite it.
Right
And,
there. It wasn't quite there.
but also what was strange about it, Damon, was the all of the queens felt uncomfortable. Like, because I think they were like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks no matter what's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
and I think they all kind of knew there's a
Yeah.
possibility she might be going. And
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine what like a head trip that is, because she was so strong and doing so well for the majority of the season to just like,
Peter out.
well, and it wasn't even
And
Peter out. Like, it was so weird. Like I was thinking about like how we were discussing if it had been a double Shantae. I'm like, if they had gone one more episode and then Jane went home, would we feel different because now it had been like two episodes in a row that she had been in the bottom? You know what I mean? Like, is like, would that have been a better, more softer landing for the audience to be okay and comfortable with happen? I don't know. Like, I'm just like, this is so
I just
weird.
think it's weird because, in all honesty, the two challenges that she went home on are two challenges where earlier in the season she shined in.
Mm-hmm.
Like while makeover wasn't really the big thing, but this it's not just makeover, it's also like design in a way.
Right.
And then this one was more comedy improv, which we know she's been really great at
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times. So it's kind of like this feels off,
Mm-hmm.
where queens that we have seen in the past struggle with some of these things apparently were shining really well enough to get like good and positive critiques. Um, I love you, Darlene. I don't. I don't. I genuinely thought this was going to be a Discord juicy bottom two with not Discord, a juicy Darlene bottom two with juicy like tearing it out and getting and sending another queen home, like solidifying, if not already, her like
Mm-hmm.
lip sync assassin status
Right.
um and Darlene going home. Not that I don't love Darlene and I'm enjoying what she's doing,
Right.
but like I was saying earlier, comparing like the things that I saw, I didn't get Karen from Darlene's thing. I didn't even get like shoplifting because of the way they made it, like the way they like framed it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see like her putting things like anywhere else. Like it was all in her cart. And yes, I know shoplifting is more than just like like stuffing stuff in a bra or whatever, but just like it didn't feel cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just felt like it went on too long. And I know that there's a reason for that because obviously they need to get so much footage and blah blah blah. But like hers felt, eh.
I mean,
So
I'm gonna own this. This whole last episode, both the mini and the main challenge, were kind of like turd burgers. They weren't
I
good.
mean, true.
And to
Fact.
Bussie's credit, they were pointing out like, why are we doing this as a challenge if RuPaul is outshining everybody? So like, I was like, that's a valid point,
Yeah.
and it is uncomfortable
Yeah.
when you do things out of ego.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this felt like, that like
Mhm.
Rue loves this stuff and Rue is good at improv, and so therefore was like, all right, let's dance. And so there's a part of me that's like, okay, I get it. Like you're measuring these queens out. We're coming to the end. Like you want to make sure that like they have the skills, and yet at the same time, you're kind of dancing circles around them. Like
Mhm.
that's not enjoyable to watch. And it would be different if like half of them really did it great, and then the
Right.
others were kind of so-so and shit.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. Like they bombed at puppets, and I just felt like that continued on into these videos in a way, like that and that's why I said maybe they were being pushed by production and like and had a smaller time frame and they're exhausted, like and they're just not on their game, like in terms
Yeah.
of like making it. I don't know. I'll be very curious to see in the next episode what happens if my theory is right, if they're going to continue to just like peter out and
Mm.
not continue to do well or perform well because they're just like on
Tired.
fumes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Fair.
So
Very curious. I am.
that being
Yeah.
said, Mikey Meeks won, and I will say hers was, out of the five of them, probably the best. It had a lot of elements to it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, one of the funniest moments was at the very end when Rue said, I think that was Drew Barrymore. I was like, the fuck? But I mean, she did a lot of things
Yeah.
in the course of the episode, or her skit or whatever. Like, so all credit where it's due. But again, this seems like one of those loosey-goosey, kind of like the family resemblance thing. Like, we make up the rules when we feel it fits our own personal narrative.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it goes now to the top 4: Darlene, Mitchell, Juicy Love Dion, Mikey Meeks, and Nini Coco. And I've already said it. I will be absolutely gobsmacked if Nini wins. I don't think it's Juicy's either. And I kind of don't. I mean, I will say this: if Darlene wins, it will be one of the most dark horse seasons ever. To never
True
see
that.
it coming.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be the case. Like, that's why I said I think it's Mikey's to lose now. Like, I honestly thought it was going to be Mikey and Jane at the very end.
Right.
But fuck my feelings. So, like, that's not a thing. And it's so twisted because I feel like there's another philosophy point that Rue and or Productions, like, Jane's already a fucking star. She doesn't need this show. Like, she can do whatever she wants. And this is me affirming that in a really fucked up way.
Right.
I kind of don't care about seeing any of these queens if they're in my area.
Ooh.
I don't.
Ooh.
Like, I'm not that invested in Juicy. Don't care that much about Nini. Darlene, I would go see if she was part of a comedy group, maybe. Like, that was a tour, and it was like, laughing, gals, like, on tour or something. I don't know. Like, because there is a space and a place for, like, kooky queens.
Right.
And I want to go have a good time and laugh and, but I'm sorry, like, Jane's the only one that I was invested in. And so I will be paying attention to where she goes because I want to see her. And what's super shitty about it is I felt that way beforehand, and now I feel more compelled because I'm like, you got done dirty, girl.
That's a fair point.
So now I'm kind of curious of whether or not, like, Irene and Bosco are going to rally around her and be like, girl, All Stars is the gig. Just wait. You know what I mean? And, like, but also more importantly, take your time.
Yeah.
Don't be jumping in immediately. Let them beg. You come back when you want to come back.
Fact.
So, unlike Discord, who's going to be on the very next season. So, I kid. I don't know who the cast is, and I don't know, like, where they are with all of that. But the fact that her exit was, I'll see you on All Stars, I was like, yep, there we go. Like,
I could see her on not this year's All Stars.
Right, it's too soon.
Unless there's some sort of, like,
delay.
Lydia be calling, like, something like some shenanigans going on again.
That's true.
Where they can't like they lose a queen for whatever reason.
Right.
I don't even know what they're doing, and I think they talked about there's going to be potentially an announcement soon. But anyway, that's the thing I could potentially see a queen coming on, like, right now, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
However, I do think she's going to jump on, like, next year.
Right. Yeah. I don't disagree. So,
what do y'all think?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm very curious. I think, like, the internet is going through, like, a mourning process right now. Because I don't know. I'm not in that sphere really as much. I remove myself from it, so, like, I wouldn't be spoiled on things. But I wonder if there are people who weren't really into Jane who are like, good, doesn't matter. And that's fine. But I feel like there was really nothing about Jane that would bother people that they would kind of take attitude with.
Right.
So I'm not sure what's going on. But there's ways that you can let us know. You can go to our blog, cubsoutloud.com. You can shoot us an email, cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You could call and leave us a voicemail and tell us what you think. We could play it or not play it on the episode. You can call 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. You can search for Cubs Out Loud on the social media outlets. If you want to join our Telegram chat for Cubs Out Loud Drag Race specifically, you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR. You can also see when we're going to be doing our live shows. on Sunday evenings. When that's ready, it'll be tinyurl.com/calendar-COL. If you would like to support us, in addition to all the drag queens that are out there, you can go to zazzle.com/cubsoutloud and pick up some merch from our store online. We've got several different things on there. Damon happens to be holding up for the visual audience out there our Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo, like coffee cup. We also have other items in addition to housewares. We've also got apparel. David happens to be wearing the Whatever the Queens Say These Days shirt, part of our whatever line. And I happen to have the Distress hat on. I am also wearing a one-of-a-kind, never-before-seen, or again, color-on-color hooded sweatshirt. This was a mistake made in the printing process. This is me in mourning because of what happened in this latest episode.
Looking to you.
I seriously was like, do I have a black hat? Do I have anything that looks like a veil? I'd wear that shit. Anyways. But you could let us know how you feel about those things. You could also become a patron at patreon.com/cubsoutloud for $1 more a month. I like to keep it on, please. That's a visual joke. You guys have to see this. You could go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud and leave us a one-time donation over there. We will gladly take the tip. Yes. You can also catch us out wherever you listen to podcasts at Apple. I'm tired, y'all. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, all the places. Cubs Out Loud Drag Race is its own RSS-like audio feed if you're interested in that. There's also a playlist specifically for COL Drag Race on youtube.com where you can find us. Damon, if people want to get in touch with you, how would they do so?
Sure. You can find me at TheaterCup79. That's TheaterCub79 on most related sites and Discord. Not Discord Adams, but Discord. Or you can find me as Pup Umbra79 on Blue Sky. That Blue Sky is not safe for work. For safe for work stuff, you want DMA Gamer79 on Blue Sky and TikTok. Gary?
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as GearBear73. And with that, we are going to head out. We will be back in a couple of weeks. In theory, we'll have a finale. Because we're down to 4 queens. And then it'll be 3 ? And then the end. Don't know quite what the story is. There used to be reunions. Maybe we don't do that anymore. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
They do the Lollapalooza SmackDown.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. We did know that was the thing that's happening. So yes, the cast will be back. There will be an opportunity for all of them to lip sync, and one of them will win a cash prize. So I guess we haven't seen the end of Jane.
I mean, sorry, my eyes just went a little wide there. I was like, oh, that would be fun.
Well, I don't think she's coming back in the competition. I think
no. I meant we're obviously going to see her in the lip sync. That's what I mean.
Right.
But are we gonna somehow give her the win?
Do we care? I mean,
you got the old timey shade. Got the old shade fan for this one. I was like, that just hit me from far.
That's just me being bitter. Like, if she's not going to have the chance to win the crown, do I care about her winning? Like, run up whatever.
She done already done her at hers. She done already done had hers. She says,
yeah,
but she hasn't because you should have given it to her to begin with. Just saying.
Boop. All right, so with that, we will catch you in a couple of weeks. It'll either be the end of the season or right before the finale. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But until then, just, keep doing more laps, kitten. You'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.